I have the privilege of proposing MONTFORT TADIER as Senator for the island of Jersey. His declaration says, I, the undersigned, MONTFORT TADIER, hereby declare that I have read and understood the provisions of Article 9 of the States of Jersey Law 2005, and that I am not disqualified for election, and I have no relevant convictions for the purpose of Article 9, 1b and c, and it's suitably signed and dated, in fact, the 15th of September. I also wish to say that the following people have nominated him. Myself as his proposer, Mr. Mike Sheldrake, seconded by Jason Cronin, and then the following have also added their names to the list: Hazel Forrest, Lucille Monks, Robert Whitley, Marco da Silva, Catherine Duckworth, Anne Burbeck, Noella Galashon, and Carolyn May. Monsieur le Candidat, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is not without any knowledge in this hall that we are entering very difficult times. Anyone who has been reading the newspapers or watching the news will know that the credit crunch is now not just hitting certain parts of the world, but it's extending its cold tentacles to every economy in the world at this time, leading to the potential for recession, which has already been reflected in rising levels of inflation, clear evidence of lowering cost of living as wages do not meet the standards of living at present. In this situation, I believe that we have an election of great significance, probably the most significant in 50 years of Jersey history. We need politicians who are prepared to understand the needs of the ordinary Jerseyman who is facing the consequences of the present economic climate, and also wants to see fairness in the policies that are followed by the states. My candidate asked some questions, and they are significant questions. Is it fair on the ordinary people of Jersey, for example, to not only witness the fact that they are faced with inflationary prices, 13% on food, 26% on fuel, but add on top of that a flat rate of 3% GST as well? Is it fair and right that the states have been criticised over many, many years for the inefficiency of their state spending, and their own individual audit commission, only in the last 24 hours, has actually indicated continued concerns that spending is not strictly controlled, and yet we have to accept rises in taxes? Is it right that we have an island that determines where you live, to determine whether you have access to free nursery care or not? Certain parishes, yes. Others you have to pay, or you don't have any. Is it right that millions of pounds are about to be spent on an incinerator located on the Collet site, when full consideration of the possibilities of recycling could easily provide more efficient ways of controlling our waste, and even more important, restrict the carbon imprint we have on our island? The candidate I'm proposing has got the bravery and the courage to ask these questions. He may only be 29, but is a young man of high intelligence. He was educated in Jersey. He eventually went to University of Sheffield, acquired a degree in modern foreign languages, and with that qualification he then went out into the world and actually worked in a number of countries, not only to broaden his own experience, but to gain an understanding of the political structures that exist elsewhere. He returned to the island because he has an abiding interest and love for the island, and has already established his own personal business in the island, most successfully in language translation. On his return, he actively involved himself in local politics and in supporting local associations. He, for example, was one of the prime movers this year in the organisation in the Royal Square of a GST demonstration. He also has actively found ways of raising funds to support those victims who suffered in the historic abuse inquiry. He's a man that strongly believes in the integrity of reform. He asks questions, for example, why we have 3 stratas of people sitting in the state, and why we don't have one general election. He believes that it's very important to be fair and equitable. He believes in transparency, humanity, and leadership. I give you MONTFORT TADIER. Please vote for him.